Some stuff I've been working on, a couple of Serbian chef knives. These all need a final clean up to remove all the tape residue and gunk off them. A couple of my hunter knives here in oak and in elm. These are, one's 52-100, that one's in Nylox stainless. There's another one in yew there. It's really nice, that yew wood, and that's in Nylox as well. Lovely wood. A Damascus camp knife there, which I've just finished, with a nice grip. So I think there's about 1,000 layers there, something like that. It's a really fine pattern. You maybe cannot quite see it, I don't know. Yeah, possibly. Got a bit of banding in because it was just a bit of an attempted ladder pattern and a random ladder. You saw the Sanmai sheets now made for it. Yeah, that was in beech, but I've just finished the other one. I've just handled the other one and it is sold. I'll bring in. So this one, some African blackwood and some giraffe bone, which I've done a bit of scrimshaw on, bit of scrimshaw there as well, and some brass, and it has black liners. And this is the other stainless Sanmai 1095. It's just kind of identical on each side. Nice little flare on the back there. Lovely little knives these. They just fall into your hand, you know. Just lovely knife with great control for doing sort of any task really. Yeah, so that has gone as well. Yeah, but anyway, today is about this billet 1095 15N20. Well, we got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 layers. Big chunk of steel that. It's for an axe, Damascus axe. I'm going for about 120, 150 layers I think. Just so there's a nice contrast in the different steels. I'm going to drift the eye through this as well. And I'm going to manipulate this pattern so that I don't get a tear when I drift the eye through there. I don't want to just bust this thing apart. So we'll see. I've thought of a couple of ways where I can prevent that, so I'll show you. But I'm going to upset this first of all. I'm going to draw it out and upset it before I restack it. And there's two ways to upset one of these, and I'll show you them both. got two ways to upset a billet. This is the first one. You're lazy, you're stupid, billet, stupid. You're lazy, you just sit there saying you're hot, doing nothing, I'm doing all the work, you're useless. This would be the other way, by probably the more successful way, by using the upsetting dies. Well, I'm stacked for 60 layers today. Just get that forged out. I think I'm going to fold that in two. And give me 120 layers. And then I may slip a piece of carbon in between them two. Just to make sure I've got enough of a billet. But at the moment, I mean, that to me, I think will be big enough. Okay, that'll cut nicely in half. The width is about where I want to be for the head of the axe. So I know cutting that in half I'll get a little bit more width out of it, which isn't a bad thing. I've got enough steel for the axe, so I don't need to add any more layers, so I'll cut that in half for 120 layers now. So guys, this is where we're up to. That's been annealed. I've cut a lump off the end of that. There's just too much steel here, like I said. There's too much on the top as well. Well, I'll make another knife in the future. That's where I'm going to try and drift the hole through. It's the first time I've done this, so I've kind of probably cheated a bit. I've drilled 4 holes through. Mainly because this is Damascus, and like I say, because the layers are arranged in rows that way, I don't want them to open up. If it was just a mono steel, I probably wouldn't have done this. I'd try it without. But there's too much on the head there. So I'm going to leave that excess material on while I drift this hole out. Just it gives me more material and it's less likely to open the top out. So I've also run the slitting disc in there just to give me a start. Like I say, first time I've done this type of axe eye, so I'm gonna crack on with it. I've made a few tools here as well. This was one of the tools I made. this kind of little fullering tool with a dome top on it, and I used it to make this, is it a drift? I think it's called, like a tapered drift, and that's going to be the size of the hole for the X handle. And that was really useful because I was able to hold it on an angle on the work under the press and form the sides, forge the sides in. So I'm really pleased with that. I've made this little tool here as well, and I'm going to use this to roll along the steel to pull out the beard on the X. And I've also made a couple of these to hammer through initially and see if I can get this to work. I will probably end up making a dedicated drift and put it into the forging press. I just haven't got time at the moment, and also I'm going to modify the head of the forging press. I'm making a complete new head for it because I'm just not happy with this, the way it's tilting ever so slightly, and I just don't like that. So I mean, it's safe, but I just don't like the tilting because it means the work's not being evenly pressed on it. But we'll do that. We'll get into that in the next video or two. So I'll have another go at this tomorrow. See if I can mess it up. Right guys, thanks to my patrons, thanks to my subscribers. I'll see you all soon.